Hey chat, how are you? Sigh. So, several months ago, I noticed that the toilet seat in the kids' bathroom was loose. Also, a part of it was chipped, and it was just a pain in the ass to clean. But anyways, seat was loose. So, normally on a toilet, as Grandpa Curtis pronounces toilet, normally on a toilet, you just unscrew the bolts, yank it out, throw a new one on that bad boy, and then screw the bolts right in. And on the other side of the bolt is the nut slash washer. That's a conventional, traditional toilet. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to figure this out. I'm going to try to do this. So let's do this. And how I operate is I always purchase the parts myself because if you get it through a service, a mechanic shop, or a handyman company or whatever, they will buy the parts for you and then charge you 2, 3, 4 times what they paid for it. So I always try to get the parts myself. And then I try to do the labor. It's just depending on how comfortable I am, how many YouTubes I watch, and when needed, I will outsource the labor. But if I can do it, I will do it, and I take pride in that. And I also take pride in handing it off and saying, "Sure, I'll pay you $300 per hour for labor." Just kidding, Mom. I'm sorry. I still have if I sniff the snot, the mucus, I apologize in advance. I feel great, but I still have a cough. So that's what I'm dealing with on the sickness front. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hop on this. I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm on r/ask-a-plumber, r/DIY. I'm on plumbing blogs. I'm on plumber web forums. At one point in the middle of the night, I watched 45 minutes of toilet seat videos. Oh, it was good stuff. You should see my algorithm now. Toilets as far as the eye can see. So we have a Kohler toilet. It was here when we moved in. The previous owner, Judy Zone, that's what she purchased, a Kohler toilet. So I was all up on Kohler.com and all the schematics, and I'm emailing their customer service team. At one point in the morning, I had 4 emails to them, like, how do I do this? What's up with this? What's up with that? Etc., etc. So what I found out is that the toilet is Kohler, but the seat is aftermarket. It's a brand called Mayfair, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just buy aftermarket seat and aftermarket installation kit. We have a Kohler Persuade Curve, no E on curve, by the way. Retails for $568. What makes our toilet special? It's a skirted toilet, aka a one-piece toilet, for you people who aren't plumbers like I've been all my life. And what is a skirted toilet? Well, there normally you could throw a seat, you could take a seat off there, you throw a seat on there, but on each side it just all goes down to the floor. There's just a wall. And we're gonna build that wall. Who's gonna pay for it? Kohler. You can get to the bolt, but you can't get to the washer. So you have to pull out the entire toilet to get to said bolt. And that's what Judy Zone did, or Judy Zone had someone do. She had someone yank out the whole toilet, install the seat. So when it's not installed, when it's not on the ground, nailed to the ground, you could get to the washer and the bolt. But so what had happened was one washer on one bolt got loose, And it's not an emergency. It's not a plumbing emergency. The kids use the toilet for many months. It just kind of grated at me, and I'm like, I'm gonna fix this one day. One day, I'm gonna do something, and I decided that day was that day. So I'm like, okay, I'll get aftermarket parts, aftermarket bolts, but the skirted toilet, aka the one-piece turlet, the seat hits different. Okay, it's a pain in the butt. You have to get specific. You can get a toilet seat from anywhere, but to install it, if you don't want to yank the toilet out of the ground, you have to get a specific, like rubberized dealio contraption, so the bolt can sit in it and tighten. It's really weird. I still don't completely understand it. So as I'm looking on the World Wide Web, I see a YouTube entitled 6 Reasons You Should Not Buy a Skirted Toilet. And not is in all caps. And then I also saw a Reddit thread with the headline. Now I'm going to curse here, people. So just stand in an indefensible position. Liz Fisher, you might want to cover your ears for the next few seconds, okay? But I'm just reading what someone typed onto the internet for emphasis. Okay, so 6 reasons you should not buy a skirted toilet, and then a Reddit thread with the headline "Fuck skirted toilets." Wow, really, bro, really? Is the skirted toilet in the room with us right now, sir? So I'm like, okay. So got to get a seat. Did you know they have memory foam toilet seats? I remember like when I was young, going to someone's house, every once in a while you run into a cushioned toilet seat and you're like, oh, this is weird. And then there's also wooden toilet seats, same thing. When I was a young man and had friends and would go places, you'd run into a wooden toilet seat every once in a while, like, oh, am I on a pirate ship? I chose to get plastic over porcelain. Porcelain is super heavy. And I got a rubber threaded grommet contraption thingy to where you could screw in a seat from the top of a one-piece toilet or a skirted toilet. And I settled on an elongated mainstays toilet seat. As far as labor, watched a few videos. I was like, I ain't doing all that. Okay. McCrary is a West Sacramento handyman company. They have a few employees, and they're good reputation in the community. Everyone loves them. Lots of people hire them. We've hired them a few times, but their labor cost is minimum $140. And I was like, I'm not sure about that. I think we could do better. So enter Anthony Simon, who I've used before. We've had help out before. He normally charges $75 per hour. And he said, friends and family rate for you, $60. I was like, all right, bet. And he's a nice guy. He lives here in our condominium complex. And I was like, he'll figure it out. He can do this. It's going to take 15, 20 minutes tops. No worries. So he comes over and it's a swing and a miss. Oh, strike one. The little rubber grommet wouldn't fit into the tiny hole that the coal engineers deemed for it. So me and Anthony Simon, we head to Lowe's. We can't find the part. Again, the skirted toilet seats are a small, tiny fraction of the overall toilet market. And actually, we were in the plumbing section, and he was chatting up a few of the employees. He started it. I would never talk to a Lowe's employee. I would walk out without talking to anyone, without having the proper product, with my head in between my legs, staring at the ground. I don't need to socialize with no one. But he started talking to a few of the employees in the plumbing section, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm dealing with the skirted toilet," and one of them said, "Oh, a skirted toilet?" And we were like, "Yep, a skirted toilet." And he said, "So you have to do everything from the top?" And we said, "Yep, everything from the top." And he goes, "Ew." He grimaced. He grimaced, I say. So turns out Lowe's doesn't have the part. I have to get authentic, genuine Kohler parts. I got to get the real install sit. I'm sorry, the real install kit, and a real Kohler seat, both a little more than $30, $31 and $32 respectively. And so, and this is going to take a few days. They're both from Amazon, but Anthony Simon was busy for a few days and they had to ship here. They came quick, but it was about 4 days where there was no toilet seat. That's the other thing. You can't, well, you can, and I did put back the old toilet seat, but you can't tighten it because it's a skirted toilet, so you can't get to the bottom of the bolt. You can't tighten the washer. So I was like, okay, well, here's a seat, Lennox and Luna, for 4 days. Looser than previously, but just have faith in me. Oh, I got this. I got this, queen. But Carolyn and I put a sign on top of the toilet seat. She used white paper, and I was like, it's a white toilet. It's a white piece of paper. It's going to be camouflage. It's going to blend in. They're not going to notice. And we told them verbally, IRL in person also. But the sign said, loose toilet seat, please be gentle, careful. And they dealt with it. And they used our toilet sometimes. We were like, you can use our toilet, no worries. And the toilet's fine. This isn't an emergency. But you could still do your business and it still flushes. It's just the seat. The seat is the issue. During these 4 days where we had 1.5 toilets, I thought, is Carolyn losing faith in me? Is Lennox and Luna? Or is just Carolyn like, this is Vince trying to save money again. This is the Grandma T effect on my husband. So attempt number 2, Anthony Simon comes over. He was done in 10 minutes. Boom goes the dynamite. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And he had the same exact Kohler video up on his telephone, which, by the way, Kohler disabled the comments on that video. Why are you trying to hide the truth? But he just had it up and watched them install it. And then he put together the kit with the seat, and it was done. It was done quickly. Parts $60. I'm sorry, $63. Let's call it. Labor another $60, so $123-ish. With McCrary, it would have been starting at $200, unless they said, hey, we can get the parts for you, and then they would have charged $200 for kit and seat, so that's $400. No, they're good people and they do fine work. But when I can cut a corner and I don't need an expert, Anthony Simon is an all-around handyman. He doesn't specialize in one thing, but he can make it happen. Although he flew up to Oregon, his daughter lives in Oregon. He flew up to Oregon to start a motorhome. Like their motorhome vehicle wasn't starting, so his daughter flew him up there, and lo and behold, he got it started. He's a jack of all trades. He really is. Alrighty. Well, I think we're done. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace out. See ya.